Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, Dancing Gladiator. I'm just, you know what? I just want to ramble about stuff and work on my deck ideas for the hololive card game since I've got more cards now. You know, with card games, one booster box is usually never enough. Gotta get two. And if I'm ever there's still boxes available, I'm probably getting a third at this point because I want more cards to work with. I really want to find other Oshi cards as well. Because, as it turns out, there was a purpose to getting sold on the start tier set. It doesn't just come with a crap load of tier cards, it comes with more Oshis to work with. It is the core of building any deck to have the Oshis and the cheer. So the start deck to learn the game, and then the cheer set to actually have a core for building a deck, and then boosters, just a ton of boosters. I'm still trying to look over how this game actually works too. Got the rules out, got the mat out. So I'm going to sort some stuff out and just talk about what's been going on lately. Got to go up to the Springs last week, which I say hell yeah. Let's sort these out. Picked up Planet Steam again. It was one of the games I had. I featured it, auctioned it off, and once again I have a copy of the game. The nice thing about the copy I have now is it has all the money tokens, which is still just barely enough, but at least it's something. Oh yeah. The Gen 3 Spot members set. It's really nice. I really like the art style, and I think it's really cool that they did this for them. I have to figure out what use I can figure out with them. Also in the Springs, I featured Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition already, and as it turns out, that one has expansions. In fact, you'll notice if you pick up if you're looking at the top of the box, on the inside, of the bottom section of the box, on the top edge, it'll even say, hey, here's the 3 expansions to this game. Okay, I'm going to sort these out. Crisis, Discovery, and Foundations. Crisis is the one that I didn't find. I found the other 2. But it adds infrastructure and 2 extra players. And changes some cards accordingly. Yeah, swap out one of the corporations and 2 of the projects. Yeah, I'm sorting these into their collector numbers just to see where I'm at. I'm probably going to have to do an inventory on these at some point. I do like the little mascot for the Pioneers. Yeah, one of these days I'll just have to go through and write down the cards by number and see what I have, and then review the actual card list on the website to see what I'm missing. I don't think I've pulled a single Oshie card that's available in the boosters, and I think they are available. They're just way, way rare. But it's starting to feel like is this going to be the stronghold problem all over again? For the unaware, the stronghold problem is in reference to Legend of the Five Rings and the fact that if you try to do a booster draft for that game, it'd be near impossible. Because some sets, if not all of them, the only way to get a stronghold is to get the starter deck for them. I don't think I've ever, in all the boosters I've seen for that game, I don't think I've ever seen a stronghold, unless they are rare or some other kind of situational factor that I'm missing or forgetting about. Seven. 125. Let's see. Yeah, alright. Those remember. 4 idle microphones. That's enough for a playset. Five. Penlight. Encore. What else? Stopped by Entertain Mart and picked up Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. Always like having more stuff to watch. I also picked up the 3rd season of Homeland from a thrift store kind of thing in the Citadel. But for the time being, I am currently sidetracked by watching Fang of the Sun Dugram. I took an interest in the series when I heard that was like the inspiration for some stuff from BattleTech. And the whole thing is currently on YouTube for free. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this while it's still here. It is, however, subtitled, but at least that's something. 2, 23. Let's do first. Alright. Pioneers. The Cappy. And then we stopped by a bookstore and I found 100 Voices, an oral history of Ayn Rand. I was kind of curious to see other people's experiences with someone and what they have to say. Alright. I think this was the stack that sorted out. There it is. Zayton. Really curious how they went another way to make a book out of it. So interesting. Oop. So I'll probably get to reading that at some point. Also need to get to reading Interstellar Operations Battle Force for BattleTech. Foil. Because I know that's got a campaign set up. Okay. And I'm always curious as to what kind of approach to a campaign that the designers themselves come up with. I know we've got the campaign that we're playing right now. What's the new one? All I know is I pulled. And some parts of it can get kind of tricky at sometimes. Having to repair and upgrade mechs and all that and pilots. The points add up. For a while we were just racking up points because we didn't have a chance to spend them. So just go on the mission, get points. Repair if necessary. But ultimately, we're just building up for once the whole clan invasion thing was mostly past. Let's step things up a bit. Rare. Yeah, at this point I'm looking at maybe rethinking the lance that I've got. Because an assault mech, 2 heavy mechs, and a medium. Trying to take care of that is rough. The mission I had tonight was particularly difficult. It seems like a simple thing, but then going up against clan mechs, it's difficult. Really. Alright. D-Res first. Alright. Yeah, I want to sort everything out and review how to play this freaking game and then start working on decks. I want to have 2 functional decks that can play against each other as a way of learning the game. Having 1 is always appreciated. Having 2 is better. Having more than 2 gives me a way to study other strategic ideas, like the way certain factions play, or the way certain things can be combined together. There. I'll move back for a moment. The most frustrating thing to ever happen with any kind of game that I get into is when there are no boosters available at all. Case in point, Eve the Second Genesis. They're stuck with basically whatever starter deck stuff is available. I have to go from there. Granted, I could probably just pick up another pair of starter decks and have far more cards than I'll ever need. But it'll also give me some room to modify decks as well. And because a number of the cards are anywhere from only 1 faction to all of them, there are some things I can do with exploring that. So one's numbered a little differently. HS001. 11 SR. I think it's because it's from a starter, maybe? Well, let's review what came in the starter deck. This is the second stage. Let's see. Or not. Huh. No, wait, there's her. She's the one in the starter deck. She's the one pulled from booster. So it doesn't mean they're completely done different stuff for the boosters. There's debut Oski. So the starter deck cards are numbered differently. Alright. I think for now I will put her with Oski's main cards, at least. Yeah, I think I did the video already, but I think I want to revisit my thoughts on getting a card game going, designing a card game and all that. And maybe work on some kind of standalone or living card game approach. I know the competitive living card game scene isn't really going anymore, but I know there's also the cooperative card games. But my thing is I like the whole card duel aspect. It's part of why I'm glad they came out with the whole Gwent's box that they did. Just have to find a day and people interested in taking the time. And just mess around with that. Let's see here. 243. I really want to build a monsters deck out of it. Because playing Gwent on the mobile app, I like playing monsters the most. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah, one of the things I appreciate about the way they numbered the cards, in general, it's debuted to first to second. Makes it a little bit easier to find what you're looking for. Grouped by color, grouped by VTuber, grouped by debut first, second. It just an actual card numbering system that makes sense. Okay. 35. Oh, there she is. The thing that I'm trying to figure out how it makes sense is who they put in what color and why. I'm sure it's some kind of explanation somewhere. I just haven't really gone through the effort yet. One or two move these somewhat out of the way here. That's one of the occasional identity crisis moments for like Magic and all that is deciding what goes into what color for like certain creatures, certain spells, in a way that, you know, it fits with the color. There's always the curious Prodigal Sorcerer from, I forget what set for Magic, but it's like just taps and deals damage. It's kind of weird for blue, but I guess it might make sense somewhere. There are also certain types of cards in the game that are like, sure they're in the game, but people don't like the fact that they're part of the game. Like counter spells. This one of the things about Magic is it has a lot of stuff, but at the same time, the meta just gets narrowed down to certain stuff, and playing with anything else just doesn't make sense. But also playing with certain stuff that does work manages to annoy people that they don't like that. It's like, it's part of the game. Yeah, just Magic the Gathering in general is just kind of in a weird spot here. It's like just about everybody loves Commander, but hardly anyone cares for Standard. I guess it got screwed up somewhere. And I know there are people who only like jumping in for Magic when there's a like sealed or draft or whatever. I don't know if I was ever just gonna play Magic for the hell of it, what I'd probably do is jump in on a cube draft. This was the showcase of the showcase piece of the second booster box that I got. I believe I've said before that my dream cube setup is Mirage, Visions, Prophecy. Of course, getting those cards is not cheap, and it's not a priority, so I'm not doing it anytime soon, if ever. I think this game wants me to play with Kobo for all the cards I got. For I guess there's another set that's going to come out in like October. I'm not sure. In fact, I doubt our local game stores kind of bother with it because no one else seems to have an interest in it the way I do. Oh well. Alright. Alright. Now to figure out what to do. Alright, so the things you need for the game. So, one Oshi, a hololive card. One in the back, has a life. Kiara, once per turn, during this turn, new red collab. Red collab hololive gets arts plus 20. Oshi skill. Okay. So, try to build the decks for the colors that have not been featured yet. Or at least I can try to build with each of them. There's a challenge, is build the deck with each of the factions available for the game. Yeah, have fun doing that with L5R. I know there's one, was it Genpuku or something like that? That was just a set of nine decks. I think that's really an interesting approach, but also probably expensive. Even more so the game's out of print. Alright. So, we'll figure out a deck for each of the four. The cheer cards are in here, and I still need to sleeve everything. In fact, I'm probably going to need to pick up more card sleeves at this point. 150... However much this is in this stack. Because 50 cards plus a 20 card cheer deck is 70. And I want to build 4 decks. That's 280. I don't think I have 280. But we'll see. We'll see how far I can get from here. So to even get to 50. So let's look at what makes sense for the deck to have. Looking at the way things play. See, life points, cards from your cheer deck. Okay. I guess that's slightly more sensible than just using random ass cards from your actual deck. Hollow power. Alright. Oh. Yes, I caught the mention of it earlier. Kiara doing the how to play video. I'm going to check that out later. For sure. I always appreciate when they're featuring something relating to the company in their own way. Alright. So, resting to active. Collab. No center. So no center. Non-active. Non-resting. Alright. Draw a card. Top of the cheer deck. So you're always getting cheer is nice. Alright. Main phase. So stage. Alright. Oshi have 6 hollow men on stage. So there's center position, there's collab position. There's Oshi position. So Kara be Oshi. Okay. That's horribly lopsided. lopsided. There we go. Alright. Bloom. So it has to start debut. Same name. So from debut to first to second. Where's she at? Okay. Okay. Place debut, Spot Hellman. Yeah, some of the members are spot types, looks like. Let's go to stage. Back position. Okay. Only performed once for each debut or greater each turn. So it's like Pokemon in that regard. Anything was on, then is transferred. Following blooms can be performed. Blooming on the first turn. So setup. So you'll have a debut in center position at the start. If you don't have one in your starting hand, you'll redraw. If you have multiple, a debut or spot, you can play them. It's part of setup. Okay. Alright. Collab, once per turn. Top card of the deck face down to Hollow Power. Move a non-resting back Hellman to collab. Okay. And we'll stay there until the reset phase. Alright. So, collabs build power. Okay. And power is used on the skills. Okay. And when you use Hollow Power for skills, it goes to the archive, which is the discard pile. Alright. Use support cards. It will even say on they're limited once per turn. Alright. Okay. Limited cards cannot be used on the first turn of the first player. Alright. Baton Pass, which is retreat. Archive a specific number of cheer attached to your. So retreat the center. As long as they're not resting. Alright. Okay. Okay. So main phase, performance phase. Skip for first turn to first player. That's for center and collab. So you need cheer, base value damage, critical icon, color attribute of the target opponent's element of the same color is critical. It's added. Okay. Is there an example? Yellow. Huh. Just a general thing. Weird. Oh, that's how critical. she works against green. Alright. Okay. You can target either center or collab. You'll place damage counters. Okay. Take enough damage equal to HP. They're downed. Decreases their life by 1. Life face up and send his cheer to Hollow on the stage. It's kind of a second wind in that way. Like, oh crap, you're losing people. We need to cheer them on even harder. And then the down goes to the archive. Alright. If you don't have a center, perform step 3 of the reset. And then the game ends if you can reduce someone's life to 0 or run them out of people to work with. Or if they need to draw and they can't. Okay. So I know I've compared it to Pokemon, and it's kind of hard to avoid that comparison. But the whole collab to build up power to spend on skills, it edges a little close to Vice Schwartz. Just a little bit. With the whole stock system. Alright. So let's see what I can build out of all this. And what I should try to build here. So we have Kiara. We have the Chimkins. Kodori. See. What else can I throw into this? Alright. So these matter if I actually have Kiara. That's in these ones. Have debut. Have first. Have. Okay. Yeah, I think I might need to pick up some more boosters for this game. Before I really get into the deck building. But again, I want to at least try. Who do I have here? Have Louis. 4 debut, 4 first, or 2 first and 2 second. There's 8. Probably want to take the Pokemon approach of not putting in more higher level than lower. First. So, 4 debut. Throw in the nice one. There. 8. Polka. Only a single debut card for Polka. I want more of her. It's still one of my favorite outfits from like anybody. Alright. Bales. Need more debut cards for for bills. Alright. Alright, so 8, 8, and 6 so far. There's 22. Might have to cross over. Alright, let's see. I'll take the start deck approach and have like 2 of them available. And just decide who to run when we have to cross that bridge. Alright. Again, this is mainly trying to build something to just mess with. Another one of my favorite outfits ever. Kanata. 7 cards to work with. May. More first than debut. So we'll keep the foil. Okay. So it's 8 to work with. 9. 10. Alright, 10 and 18. And 4. It's 22. So far, 44. Only 1 debut for Zeta. I need more Zeta. And Iris. Okay. 6. Okay. So with no support cards whatsoever, I have 50 right here. Alright. Maybe we'll work on refining that later. And I'll just need the appropriate cheer cards. Go from there. Figure out what I'll probably just start off learning the game with just the characters, and then I'll start adding in all the support stuff later. Okay. This is a project I will continue to work on as I get more cards and I have more of an idea of how to actually play the game strategically. So there's that project. And let's take a look over blue and green. Alright. Take the same approach. 3 to 3. No seconds. Alright. Kobo. A lot of firsts. Okay, 4 and 4. And 3. It's 11. 11 and 6 makes 17. Only 1 debut for Mina. Alright. And 2. Grow. 5. So what was it? Let's say 11. 11 and 6 and 5 makes 22. Okay. And green. Aki. 8, 10. A little bit lopsided on first compared to debuts. Right. 5. 10 and 5 is 15. And 7 is 22. 44. 50. We'll find. I will make another deck for Yopi at some point. So there's 50. Is it just a maximum or is it just a minimum? Deck of 50 cards. Limited 4 copies. Yeah. I mean, as I get more cards to work with, I'll probably make 4 decks. Yeah. Messing around with just card games and just making decks and exploring the possibilities is just something I like, you know? But then comes the choice of what do I choose? Who do I go with? You know? It becomes tricky to narrow things down to what makes sense to work with if I haven't played the game yet. So I think that's probably what I'll end up doing is we'll finish the decks, get the chair, we'll sleeve everything, and then I will test them out against each other and ask the question of what would have made this better, and then proceed to go with the support cards and spot characters from there. And after that, we'll do the showdown. I still need to do the proper Pillarless Tabletop Games episode for this, but I can already say right now, I love this game precisely because them. So yeah. Do check it out if you can find it. Support your local game store that gets it in. I didn't want to have to resort to online, but I had to resort to online. Alright. And I think with that, I'm done rambling for now. Sorry it's been kind of weird chat, but I'm just There's a lot going on lately, and I kind of need this moment to sort of vent, I guess. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus, Ancient Gladiator. I'll see you next time.